trying to find myself. My dad was calling me from jail every day. He was like, man, what you gonna do? Like, shit, I don't know. I always knew I wanted to be my own person. It's just hard, to live up to my dad's name. It's the chandelier. I might have seen Bill DJ Khaled with this song. Just that big boy,
After years of mentorship assistance and even paying for rehab, Lil Meech allegedly turned his back on 50 Cent and fled with $10 million, partnering with one of his fiercest competitors in the process. Lil Meech didn't just walk away from a large opportunity. Many consider 50 Cent's experience to be the pinnacle of betrayal.
Yeah, Nelly 50. I'm like, what did he say me for? Nelly your first baby mama, Melissa, then took your fiance. Say that nigga.
Time for some jewelry shopping too.
That's insane. Dad, one life. Dad, happy birthday, champ. That's one of one piece. One of one piece. Money team. Did you do it? Did you do 17 yours? Yeah.
Then they played some arcades.
Prior to the betrayal, there was trust and a significant investment when 50 chose to mentor Lil Meech, Vayner Jr. to play his father, the legendary Big Meech, in the Starz series BMF. However, with Rick Ross now involved and private messages leaked, 50 Cent finds himself dealing with the fallout in the most trying way possible.
Family $5 million legal dollars. So he does not understand where the money went, how Lil Meech blew it before Big Meech got out of jail, but he feels extremely betrayed after that picture got taken between Big Meech.
But look, 50. Boy, I see you struggling making that G-Unit film studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at. You thought you was gonna be able to do it. You thought.
That action changed my life. This wasn't just a TV role. It was a long-term play to create stability and legacy. And the plan had serious upside if the series took off, which it did. 50 saw a potential that others missed, so he paid out of pocket to send Meech to acting school for 2 years, investing time and money into preparing him for the spotlight. According to 50, he helped the Vayner family secure over $5 million in clean legal earnings, the kind of money that builds a future beyond the street life.
I know, but unfortunately, there's certain procedures we have to follow. Okay, anytime something comes in that's prohibited, correct?
Right. So listen.
You understand that, correct?
Please,
do you have your ID on you?
Sir, my ID's in my bag.
In the bag?
Yes, I'm a minor, sir. I have security guards. They left that in my bag, sir. I did not pack my bag.
We can get that all straight.
I have security guards, sir.
Okay.
See how much jewelry I have on me?
Listen. That's okay if you got that. The problem is bringing it into the checkpoint.
Sir, I would
just
never
have a seat
do that.
for me.
My mom's a flight attendant.
Just have a seat.
I would never do that, sir. I promise you, man. I went to private school. I'm a good kid, man.
I'm not saying you're bad. Have I mistreated you or anything?
Not at all. Not at all, sir. I'm trying to tell you, sir.
But you understand the severity of what is occurring, right?
I would never do this. I fly every week.
Listen. If what you're telling me is true, we can work things out. Okay?
Please, I'm working.
But there's procedures we have to follow. It looks like possibly 2 guns and a few mags. He's saying that he's an actor and he has private security guards.
Does he have security weapons permission?
No, he doesn't have a...
Listen, sir, I was going to tell you.
His ID and everything's supposedly in the bag.
Listen, sir, I want to tell you 1 second. I fly every week, sir. I have security guards, and we're rushing to the airport. I have a premiere. I'm an actor. That's why I have a big chain. Me and 50 Cent have a TV show.
For a family that had previously dominated the streets, this was a unique opportunity to make everything legitimate. Meanwhile, Big Meech remained behind bars, watching from prison as his son rose to fame and restored the family name to national prominence. The person who made it all happen wasn't a street legend or a label head, but a businessman. He revitalized BMF, transformed it into a media brand, and provided a platform for the next generation. Throughout it all, 50 remained silent, never publicly soliciting praise or showing off the money he spent. He has remained behind the scenes until now, however, because things have obviously changed, and the betrayal has made it impossible to keep quiet.
Family, $5 million in cash, whether it's through acting. I think he was paying for acting lessons for Lil Meech. You gotta have some appreciation. And before more details unfolded, like $5 million, because people were like, oh, 50 Cent doesn't pay people, he's always suing people. Look how he paid Ghost from Power less than Mary J. Blige on Power Book. But if Lil Meech got $5 million and he's nobody except the son of somebody famous, then he definitely could have treaded carefully with this.
Many people are now wondering why 50 appears so mad and why he's publicly criticizing it. The most compelling hypothesis is that he wasn't just emotionally committed, he was banking on this collaboration. The turning point came in October, when Big Meech was released from prison after creating one of the most powerful drug empires in American history. Many expected a reunion with 50 Cent, complete with media appearances, photo ops, and possibly even a co-produced BNF documentary featuring the man himself. Rick Ross, who is now introducing himself into the story, has hinted that 50's financial position may not be as secure as it once seemed.
Who want your masters? I buy your masters. You better shut up. I will buy your masters.
He didn't stop there.
But look, 50. Boy, I see you struggling making that G-Unit film studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at. You thought you was gonna be able to do it. You thought you was gonna be able to get them loans, and it ain't. What's wrong? What's taking so long? I know you wanna make your mama one of them walking stars thing put down there. Your mama live.
Rather than reconnecting with the man who maintained the BNF brand, Big Meech and Rick Ross made a comeback to the public eye. This wasn't just a chance appearance at a music event or industry party. They were actively promoting their relationship by hosting car shows and organizing a full welcome home concert. Meech was on Instagram grinning next to Ross as if they had been friends for years. But there was no mention of 50 Cent or public recognition for what he had done to preserve the family's legacy.
I'm waiting on your food, baby. I'm waiting on your food. We made your food fresh. We waiting on your food, so what's the problem? First of all, don't get me and wake up on me like this. We can go there. We can go there. You don't know me to love me, baby? But I'm saying no. But I'm just saying. Why you trying to go back to me on that? You don't know what you're doing now. I am being friendly. I'm giving you the same energy you're giving me.
50 Cent saw this as more than just a betrayal. It was a calculated act of disrespect. At first, he remained silent, but those who know him well know that silence does not imply surrender, but rather that a response is on the way. When he did speak, he made it clear where he stood, but the question that followed, where did the money go, in 50 Cent's opinion, worsened it. The BNF series' popularity should have given the Fenner family security, but it seems like that money is gone now. He helped secure almost $5 million in legal income for them.
Today I'm coming to tell all my supporters, you're a business owner, entrepreneur, wherever you got, I'm trying to make you go up.
50 tackled it head-on in a post, asking why the old boy wasn't watching out for him. I sent him to acting school, big screech, and not a single one of your people outside helped him. You came home believing that you were the black one. You want to shine so badly that you're out here wearing the baby's jewelry and giving him back his chain, even though Pablo Escobar ruined everything and I helped your family make over $5 million in clean money. Big Meech is said to be impoverished. And Lil Meech isn't far behind either. According to reports, he's only been charging $500 for customized marketing videos, which is not at all what 50 Cent had originally envisioned for him. If 50 Cent is known for his relentless trolling, he didn't waste any time in making fun of the situation. He immediately posted on Instagram, "Big Reach got Meech doing promos, $500 a pop, get you one while it lasts." Of course, that was only the beginning.
He's on home confinement because of the First Step Act and winning his 821 motion in federal court. After spending nearly 20 years in federal prison, Demetrius Big Meech Flannery left the federal prison in Coleman, Florida, Coleman Low, on October 15th for home confinement. Now, before you say I don't know what I'm talking about, it says right here that he's in the RRM in Miami. He's actually on home confinement. It says RRM because the RRM, or the halfway house, or really the re-entry manager, is administering his home confinement in Miami through the halfway house that's owned by Dismiss.
Shortly after 50 escalated the situation, he shared a screenshot of a GoFundMe campaign. Yes, a real GoFundMe that was purportedly set up for Big Meech. Although it is unclear who launched it, most people assume 50 was being petty because that degree of chaos is exactly in line with his playbook. Regardless of where it came from, 50 made it public, and the internet went crazy. The fundraiser claimed that Meech needed financial assistance to pay his bills, including a $30,000 monthly salary. To help Big Screech pay his $330,000 monthly earn, 50 made sure to include his signature caption. That's one of P's cribs, so kudos to quality control. But 50 wasn't finished. He went back and brought 42 Doug into the scenario. According to 50 Doug, Big Meech had given him $100,000, and he didn't hold back his opinions. Your father, my ninja, you made a mistake by giving Screech $100,000. You could have distributed that to your people. You've always been stubborn. Of course, 42, the real question that's reverberating on social media is how a former kingpin with a popular TV show, based on his life, ends up in a situation where rent is a concern. Doug responded on Instagram, standing firm for both Meech and Detroit. No ninja can persuade me to oppose Detroit, either by showing me a big bro or a rat, or stopping talking to me. Tony Yao may have provided some insight in a recent interview when he disclosed that he was allegedly requesting financial assistance from rapper Lil Baby following the release of Big Mech. Assist. Yao also stated that Meech was irritated because his son, Lil Meech, wasn't providing him with the financial support he had anticipated. This turns the focus back to Lil Meech, who Tony Yao believes may be making matters worse rather than better. Lil Meech has been spending money like it's going out of style. According to rumors, he has spent $100,000 on Chrome Hearts jeans and another $500,000 on a BMF chain. While his father, Big Meech, is reportedly having trouble making ends meet. Expenditures, but Lil Meech is still showing off his expensive watches and fashionable jeans, which many found offensive, especially after 50 Cent unfollowed him. Instead of sugarcoating the situation, Yao suggested that the true issue was not that money was being spent, but rather that it was being spent carelessly. There was no financial plan, no investments, no future planning, just ostentatious purchases with no foundation. And just when it appeared that 50 Cent might be ready to let it go, he allegedly took things to the next level. 50 actually purchased the halfway house where Big Meech is currently required to reside. That's correct. The same Big Meech who once ruled a vast empire is now allegedly paying rent to 50 Cent. Naturally, 50, being himself, didn't keep it to himself in an interview. He grinned and said, "Business is business. I'll put that ninja on toilet duty cleaning up felon stuff all day." The quote went viral and fans were ecstatic. One commenter wrote, 50 is a real savage. This is next level business. Nothing but respect for another. Called it the best burn of the year, but not everyone is persuaded. Some people think this is just another instance of the outrageous trolling that 50 Cent is known for. One critic retorted that this story is completely phony, with 50 doing what he always does, talking wildly and giving the impression that it's real. However, given 50's history of using petty to gain power, nothing seems totally off the table. He has made a career out of obfuscating the distinction between trolling and truth, and fans are wise enough to avoid taking over. Anything else out in the interim? Lil Meech recently publicly declared his loyalty on Instagram, writing, "Before I ask God for anything, I asked him to bring my father home to my family, and my prayers were answered. I love you, Dad, death before dishonor." That last line felt like a warning shot, a clear indication that he's picking sides and finished playing neutral. Lil Meech clarified it that his loyalty was with his father, Big Meech, until the very end. But what really sparked things was the decision to begin working with the BMF. When your long-standing rival unexpectedly becomes your family's new ally, the situation becomes personal. Brand with Rick Ross, the one person who had never done a thing to preserve that legacy. When Big Meech was released from prison, Rick Ross wasted no time in arranging a welcome home show and securing a public cosign promo. It was as though Ross had always been associated with BMF. But it soon became apparent that this wasn't about. In terms of strategy, Ross saw an opportunity and took it. With a check in hand, he used Meech's name as a marketing tool, not out of respect, but rather as a ploy to gain leverage for 50 Cent. It was betrayal because Ross immediately recognized the play, and it struck close to home. And then another name came along that fueled the flames. Floyd Mayweather, 50 Cent, and Floyd have a well-known feud that has lasted for years and involved several public jabs. As a result, when Lil Meech appeared at Lucky Strike Miami with "The harm was done to Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather," Meech wasn't there only to mingle, he had a purpose. The event also served as a drop for merchandise for his Red Letters by One collaboration, and to make things worse, he gave Mayweather personal gifts. 50 captioned the post. Tammy Cowens. "The truth and nothing but the truth coming soon." Boom, and to top it all off, he connected those screenshots to a carousel of BMF stills. Big Meech entered the fray via phone call, laughing and conversing with Floyd and Ross as if they were old friends. But there was one striking detail. Lil Meech's face was blurred out in each one, as if he were being rushed out of the story entirely. It was a small gesture, but it was exactly the kind of attention-grabbing energy that 50 Cent is known for, and in another round of since-deleted Instagram posts, he made it obvious that the gloves are off. 50 Cent recently dropped another bombshell. This time, Lil Meech's private conversations were leaked. In the text, Meech seemed to be begging for forgiveness, stating, "You unfollowed me on Instagram, now you. Angry at me when I would take the shirt off my back for you. I can't believe this man acts like I'm your enemy. I've only shown love and loyalty. I'm human, and I go through things, but I never betrayed you." But then the plot took a turn for the worse when Meech blamed his father, claiming that Ross gave him some bread so that he could pay his bills until our next season begins. This internet stuff is confusing me, man. You know me in real life for 50, but that message didn't mean much, and his chilly response was immediately interpreted by the fans as confirmation that BMF might be over, and perhaps Lil Meech's business career as well. Once that's gone, there's no going forward. In the meantime, Big Meech made it clear where he stands, and that's not with 50. However, what if this wasn't just betrayal? What if Big Meech wasn't on board with 50 from the beginning? Some fans think this might not be a case of I&D history politics, but rather something deeper, a father-son power struggle masquerading as a label dispute. At first glance, the situation appeared to be a typical entertainment drama. 50 Cent acting pettily when Rick Ross makes a move. Big Meech is trying to get a bag after being released from prison. But if you zoom out, a new image appears that implies this is more about ego than it is about a program or brand. Some argue that legacy and unresolved family strife, Big Meech may have become envious as he watched his son gain fame, share his tale, carry the name, and do it under someone else's tutelage. This type of unspoken animosity, in which a parent feels supplanted by their child's accomplishments, can lead to silent sabotage and Thus, Bridges was torched. Perhaps Bridges' son still needs what could have been a powerful redemption story, a father and son rebuilding their legacy. But instead of celebrating what his son built, Big Meech may have tried to regain the spotlight, dimming both futures with 50 Cent stepping back. BMF is now hanging on by a thread, and Starz hasn't confirmed another season, and 50 has already hinted that this might be the last chapter. As for Rick Ross, he is legally prohibited from touching any BMF. The true question now is, did Lil Meech betray 50 Cent for $10 million? Or was this whole situation a long-running game planned by Big Meech from behind the scenes? Or was 50 just caught in a web of misplaced loyalty? Please share your thoughts in the comments section, and if you want to stay locked in with more unfiltered, raw breakdowns, make sure to like and subscribe.